name is Anna, and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I'm a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back for a very exciting comeback reaction, and we'll be reacting to Omega X in their newest release.
Yes, so Omega X is back today with a new comeback, and the song is called Love Me Like. You know us, as always, we watch the teasers beforehand, so we kind of know what to expect. So, that being said, let's go! Oh, but there's no subtitles, sadly. That was in the teaser.
Are they just like thieves because they're gonna steal your heart?
Well, should I say this now? Oh, time. The mask made me think of since they do like Latin style again music, you know, like the wrestlers, fighters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this song makes you want to dance.
No, really?
But usually it's like the chorus that makes you want to dance along to a song.
That line, the upper line.
It's really sensual.
Yeah. Whoa. That was very dramatic. The boom boom. I like a more guitar line in this part. Whoa. Oh, why did the flower turn into a gun? Excuse me? Oh.
Sir.
Yeah, what? Dance break?
Yeah.
Or is it just gonna be a dance to end the song? Because there's not a lot of time left.
I think it's just to end the song. With Omega X fashion. Y'all!
Oh, I did not see what the Scrabble board said.
It said Love Me Like an Omega X.
Oh, okay.
My first comment is more of a silly one, but it was like right after we finished filming and we'd been talking about the Scrabble board at the end of the music video. And I just wanted to point out that Omega X would be a great word to use in Scrabble. However, an X is not touching on their Scrabble board, so you don't get those points. And that's just a waste of a square that's worth quite a few points. So anyways, on to the dance. Just sort of like overall quality, I wanted to talk a little bit more about something that I said in the reaction, where I was like, it makes you want to dance. The thing about K-pop songs is that generally the part that they want you to want to get up and dance to is in the chorus. That's like the catchiest part of the song. But this one, right from the very beginning, because of the beat and because of the style that it is, both of us immediately just started swaying along, and it makes you want to dance. Not necessarily in a let's get hype way, but in a you can't control the fact that your body has to follow along to this beat sort of way. It's almost like a hypnotizing sort of oh, I have to sway along. I thought that was really interesting. Also, it just sort of goes along with the whole vibe of the song, Latin, very sensual. We'll come back to that. In the verses, let's talk a little bit about that. They are really, really emphasizing the beats, like the downbeat of every measure. And I do mean really emphasizing the downbeat. They literally, for a good, like, solid few phrases, start all of their dance moves by bending over and, like, hitting the beat almost with their bodies. And even when it's not that extreme, there's a lot of powerful leg movements, arm punches, hip thrusts. Like, they're really emphasizing the strength in the verses. Because I've just watched the music video and then watched the showcase, I was kind of comparing the vibes in my mind. It kind of gives you that dangerous feeling that you're getting from the music video with, like, the guns and everything and with what's happening. And so it's sort of like the dance equivalent of what's happening in the music video. And on the topic of the guns, and we were like, why? Honestly, I still don't get why the guns were there, but my mind helpfully only supplied that psych thing where you can sometimes confuse adrenaline for attraction, because there's this thing in psychology where the body reaction to adrenaline and attraction is very similar. Like, your heart flutters, like you sort of get like antsy, and so you can kind of confuse those sometimes. Anyways, that's a whole different lecture. But that power in the verses kind of flows into, but is a little bit in contrast to, the chorus, which is definitely the most sensual part of the song from the dance perspective. It gets a little bit smoother, and while there are still accents, they tend to be a little bit more detail oriented, like small, fine details, like the finger thing when they're kind of miming the flute that they're playing. And also just like the quality sort of changes from being more powerful hits to a lot more like swaying. There's a lot more side to side. There's a lot of like hip action in the chorus. And because we were talking about like they really have this Latin vibe in like their songs and in their comebacks, it really does feel sort of like a Latin ballroom dance when you get that. Like, they're not doing ballroom steps, but you get that sort of like sense projected onto it because of how there's a lot of like twisting hips with arms dragging the other way, or there's a lot of like side to side movements. And so like they're really leaning into that concept, and it really comes through in the dance, especially in the chorus. That's kind of all I had to say, but like I enjoyed it. I know I'm going to be listening to it again when we're finished, so Anna's turn.
Hello, yes, it is time for my comments now, and to start with, I guess I will talk about, they're really leaning into the Latin vibe again, like really sticking with this more sort of like, I don't know, this one felt very like reggaeton to me, and one trait of that style of music is that it just makes you want to dance in like a more just like vibing along sort of way. Big reason for that is the beat. So the beat is like very straightforward and repetitive, but the way that it's like syncopated, just to outline it, if the song is in 4/4 time, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. And you were talking about how the downbeat of each measure is really emphasized, and even from the way that I'm saying it, you can feel it that way, like the da 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 da, because how syncopation works with beats, that is naturally gonna have the most weight to it. So that kind of rhythm is basically present throughout like the entire song. When it's in the chorus, I noticed that at the end of the chorus phrase, you know how there's kind of like the silence moment where most of the instruments pull back to end a section? For the chorus, at least, it ends in triplets. But one thing that really helps outline that, besides like the obvious bass, like synth bass that exists, there's this sort of like, I can't think of the name of the instrument, but it's like, you know, the clank sort of sound, and you hear it most clearly in the intro. That's also kind of commonly used in this style of music, but I can't think of the name of the instrument, so if anyone knows, please let me know. And then also really prominent in the song is horns, and usually when I say horns in a song, I mean like a trombone, a tuba, maybe a euphonium style sound. But this one, especially in the beginning, like for the first verse, when you hear it, it's like the trumpet style horns. So it's like a little bit higher pitched, a little bit not as round, a little bit thinner, but even then, like trumpets aren't super thin, but just a little bit more than like a tuba. And the line that the trumpet is playing in the beginning is like a common theme throughout the entire song. Something like that. And that's the kind of flute thing that they're playing along to in the chorus. That being said, like overall though, this song, it felt like much more pulled back than like the typical Omega X title track that we think of. Like obviously they like still have a lot of energy, and it's like the slightly dangerous vibe that's common in their other title tracks, but it didn't feel like a in my face the entire time, which I actually kind of appreciated because I felt less overwhelmed and I could kind of just like more pleasantly listen to it. And then they have the dance section at the end, and I actually really enjoyed how the end section instrumental was more just like a synthy, more like applicable for a dance break sort of synthy version of the rest of the song instrumental, because you know a lot of times like dance breaks can just sound completely different. So I enjoyed that because I think it helped the flow of the song better. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, so TLDR for this reaction is Omega X, congratulations on your comeback. Love Me Like is a very fun song and pleasant song to listen to, but it's still continuing that Omega X brand that we have come to know. But you know, in a slightly different style, they're showing a little bit more sensuality, some growth. And yeah, as always, we enjoyed reacting to it and getting to talk about it. So looking forward to the promotions.
But if you would like to talk with us more about Omega X, about Scrabble, I don't know, then feel free to reach out to us on our socials, which are linked in the cards. And as always, if you enjoyed this reaction video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!